Hi, it's Linda West, and I wanted to review the Bam Newtech case. This one has wheels. They do come without wheels. I'm just going to show you the different points of view. It's this is the mint green, which looks more like a sage green. It's kind of a grayish green. It's a nice color. It's not feminine at all. I mean, it's just nice, kind of a industrial looking color. We're going to look at the stability. It seems to be a stable case. Very sturdy. You know, it can't get knocked over, so once again, you probably should lay it down if you have your cello in there. I'm going to weigh this case so you can see what the weight is. It's not a super light case, it's more for protection. And you may want to get wheels because it isn't a super light case. Zero out. So I have, it says 12.2 pounds. I think that's what they call it, a 12-pound case, I believe. And that's without the straps. Empty, it balances towards the bottom. We're going to put a cello in here and check the balance with the cello in it, because that's really what matters. I'm just going to put the Strad model, which is typically what you're going to have. It shouldn't make much difference. Whatever cello fits in here should balance about the same. So it probably balances a little light on the head, a little heavier on the back, but it's not. It's better balanced with the cello in it than it is empty. So that's a good thing. We're going to look at the interior once I get this instrument out of here. Okay. So we have the entire interior is covered with this, feels like a velvet or a velour. It's a little fuzzy. It looks like it has kind of this ribbing, which you might think is padding, but it's dense. It doesn't. I think it's actually a way of reinforcing the case and making the case stiff. You have a scroll loop at the top here, which is adjustable. It is not elastic, it's just nylon webbing. And you wouldn't really want to cinch this up really tight against your instrument. This is just what I call a preventative device. This is my interpretation of it. But I don't think I'd want, for structural reasons, it tight against my scroll. You know, you're backstage, there's not a lot of room, so you have to open up your case with your cello standing. And you might have this, not completely snugged up, but snug enough that it goes around the neck. You undo the neck strap and it might fall out. This will prevent it from falling. You know, that's why I use it. I don't cinch it tight. It's not really there to hold the cello in place, other than just cheap insurance. So you have a neck strap with a buckle that's adjustable. There's no neck block. I think that they believe your neck shouldn't be supported with a block, that it can cause damage. Some people add a block. Down further here we have this cushion. It's soft and it has a shape of your neck in here. Basically from the bottom to the top it fits a typical cello with about 755 millimeter or 30-inch back length. So if your cello is shorter than that, you might need to block it up from the bottom. So coming down, our accessory pocket is where the C-bout is. Some people don't like this because it's a little awkward getting to when your cello is in there. It's Velcro, it's removable. I suppose you could relocate it up top if you wanted to. Down at the bottom you have padding that is supporting the end pin block. There's also elastic for the end pin. If you're doing some heavy traveling, you might want to use this to kind of snug your cello back inside the case. And there's a little bit of padding at the wide points. And that's about it. Pretty minimal. And then the lid, I'll turn this around for the lighting. The lid has the bow pockets, which are sewn at the top, which is a good thing, so the bows don't bounce out. The bottom is closed, it doesn't open, it's just a pocket. This is to support against the tailpiece to keep the cello from moving forward when you're carrying it. You have two bow holders and not much else. You have a strap that limits how far this opens, and when it's open it's fairly stable. I wouldn't leave my cello in it open, but that's me. Don't want to be in the market for a new cello, so I keep things laying down when I have my cello in there. So we have 5 latches, and it does close very easy for those of you who don't want to struggle opening and closing a case, because this is reinforced with foam. It's very stiff. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is pretty typical on all the Bam cases. It's got this shoulder handle, which can be handy if you need to go through a narrow doorway up into the subway. You just want to get you an extra place to grab your cello, pick it up vertically. Both these handles, they feel like leather, but they're synthetic, they're plastic, but they're comfortable in the hand. You have the typical Bam latch. It's spring-loaded. They sometimes fail, but they're replaceable. I've been using mine for 5 years and I haven't had any failure yet, but I've fixed a few and replaced a few. Pretty broad hinges, which is good. That keeps it stiff and stable when you're opening and closing it. You've got a couple bumpers on this side, and I guess it rests on the hardware on that side if you lay it down. The back is very stiff. There's absolutely no flex. It's convex so that there's lots of airspace behind your cello, so an impact to the case won't transfer to the back of your cello and cause a sound post crack. The strap attachment points, there's one in the center. They only have one, and then they have the two lower ones are on the side. They're attached with 4 rivets, so they have a pretty good surface area, pretty sturdy attachment point. They come with the typical Bam straps, which you can buy separately if they wear out. Typical carabiners. You clip them on, and so they don't scratch your case, you slide the shoulder strap over, and they're also covered with a little bit of plastic to prevent scratching. You put the adjustment at the bottom. find that these carabiners, I don't know if you can see this, you can zoom in. This is aluminum, and these can inadvertently open if this nut vibrates loose and comes down. I think I might have talked about this on another video, where you can get some Loctite. It actually is a thread locker, and it's a repositionable one, or removable type. You can put a drop of that in here and screw this up, and that will prevent it from vibrating loose and accidentally opening with your cello in there while it's on your back. That's kind of frightening, that idea, but I have heard of it happening. So I use Loctite. My straps just stay on all the time, but if you get the correct Loctite, it's removable. And then you have your wheels. It's like a rollerblade wheel. It's a polyurethane, and they're riveted on. I haven't seen these wear out yet, but they look like they're easily replaceable. Sealed bearings. And the case seems to stand up in a well-balanced situation. It doesn't feel like it's leaning forward or back. It's well-balanced. It has this rubber here on the back, so we lay it on the back, it doesn't just scratch the case, and it keeps it from sliding around. Gives it a little traction. And they've recently changed this graphic, which I'm trying to modernize it with a graffiti look, and your recessed pull handle for wheeling your case. And I hope that helps. Thank you.